I don't speak on celebrities often. However, I will use what is given to us by way of social media as an example, as a teachable moment. I say whatever is given to us because when it comes to celebrity culture, I'm not quick to run with the narratives, what the blogs are saying, or even what the celebrities themselves say. So I take most things that I see, hear, and read on social media, I take it with a grain of salt, right? Including celebrity. So this public spectacle, this clash between Remy Ma and Claressa Shields, right? We know it has sparked a lot of dialogue around infidelity, narcissism, marriage, divorce, romantic entanglements, all of that, all things related to those, relationship stuff. But I want to talk about this message that Claressa sent to Remy. Again, this is the entertainment industry, right? That we're talking about. So, in my opinion, it's not a far fetched possibility of this whole thing being staged or contrived for entertainment purposes. Whatever the case, I'm glad that this message was put out there for us to see. So Claressa says, "Misery loves company, baby. Shaking my head. I'm just so happy over here. I can't believe a 45-year-old woman is crashing out like this. Clown behavior." And see, here's my thing. I'm trying to figure out where Remy had crashed out at. I really need somebody to explain to me where Remy crashed out at. Okay, this is Remy Ma we talking about. This is Remy Glockiana Ma we're talking about. Where did she crash out at? Did she show up at Claressa's door waving a 4-4? All we heard was Claressa asking Remy not to hit her no more. Like, how did she crash out? All I'm seeing is an exchange of words on social media, by way of text or social media. I'm trying to figure out where Remy crashed out at. Claressa said that as an insult. She know Remy Ma is not crashing out. This is a woman who has a child with the man that Claressa is now in some sort of relationship with. So there is a lot of intense emotions at play. So to hide behind, oh, you 45-year-old woman crashing out, that was corny to me. So, even though that was corny to me, right? Because I know why. I'm glad that she put that out there because it speaks to several dynamics as it relates to the relationship between women of different generations, one, and between relationships between men and women. The first dynamic is ageism. A lot of women practice ageism, even if they don't realize that they are practicing ageism, because it's coming from a place of internalized misogyny. And, because Remy exchanging words with her, that was not crashing out to me. That's how I know Claressa is coming from a place of internalized misogyny. So Claressa bringing up Remy's age, that was automatic, right? It was an automatic response because, again, internalized misogyny informed her to automatically use age as a weapon to destroy Remy's self-esteem or, just to make her feel some type of way. Typical antics from women who have internalized misogyny. If it's not age, it's looks. Oh, I'm attractive. You're unattractive, so men will desire me more. Oh, you're 20 years older than me, crashing out. It's always some surface level, airheaded bimbo behavior, in my opinion. And truth be told, none of us know what really went down between Remy and Papoose. From my understanding, they're still married, right? We don't know the secrets each other's hearts hold, the secrets that each of them hold in their hearts. We don't know how good of a man he was or is to her because we don't know what their relationship status or dynamic is. It's nobody's business, right? That's why I said I take all of this celebrity tea gossip, just the celebrity culture in general, I take all of it with a grain of salt. We're not in these people's lives. We don't know. Of course, they're human beings like everyone else. They're in different tax brackets than a lot of people, but we still don't really know what's going on. It's called the entertainment industry for a reason, right? So again, we don't know how good of a man he was or is to her. That's for Remy to determine because that's the man she chose to be with and chose to marry and have a child with. And people take me out. Oh my God. Oh, he was a good man to her. She fumbled a good man. Oh, he stood 10 toes down with her when she was bitten, when she was locked up. I mean, he was supposed to do that for his wife. Wasn't he supposed to do that for his wife? Look up the numbers. Look up the statistics on how empty the visiting rooms are in prison, while the men's visiting rooms are filled to the brim with women and children. Look at the numbers on how empty the women's prisons visiting rooms are in comparison to the men's. You know, it's just like, it's crazy to me that people are hanging on to that. You know, that's why people, mainly men and women also, are hanging on to that. Him holding her down in prison while she was in prison. Isn't that what a husband is supposed to do for his wife? Isn't that one of the promises exchanged in the wedding vows? Right? So, unfortunately, I'm not surprised that people, men and women, are hanging on to that because, again, it proves the statistics that when women go to prison, they should not expect for their husbands to visit them. Wow. Wow, this is why people are hanging on. This is why, oh my God, how could she have the audacity to just to want to be with another man? How could she have the audacity to no longer want to be in this relationship with this man that stood 10 toes down with her while she was locked up? This is why it's so disturbing and it's stinging and it's hurting people, right? Because people, men and women, expect men not to hold their wives down, girlfriends, or any woman that they claim they love. It's an expectation for women to be in prison and never get a visit or rarely get a visit. That's sad. That is sad. So again, unfortunately, I am not surprised that people are hanging on to that. You know, that she should not expect for her husband to visit her. So because he did, she should be eternally indebted to him. Again, we don't know what went on in their relationship. So no matter what, she should be eternally indebted to him. Are you kidding me? You know, she better get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. This is what people expect women to do when their husbands, boyfriends, or whoever men they claim they love are in prison. That woman better get up 4 or 5 in the morning, sometimes earlier than that, depending on how far upstate they are. She better get up 4 or 5 in the morning so she can make that 7 to 8 hour drive. So she can make time to put her belongings in the locker. So she can make time to get searched by the COs and walk through the metal detector. Make time for all of that before they call him down to the visitor room. Right? It's the audacity for me. And you have these women who believe that she should be eternally indebted to him and that she should be ashamed for moving forward with another man because again, we don't know how good of a man Pat was to her. I don't have a stake in their relationship. I'm just speaking on what I know in real life outside of celebrity culture. We don't know what they have been through together. And this is why nobody's relationship should ever, ever, ever be goals. Okay, because you pedestalize people that you don't know in real life because they make it look like a fairy tale. They're showing clips and highlighted reels of their, the wedding, and then they're trying to conceive, and then she gets pregnant, and all of that, and it looks so beautiful, and fairy tale esque, and then when things like this happen, when she's caught or whatever, she's not even caught because if she was dealing with this other dude from Philly and she's out in the public with it's not that she was caught, it was out there. So when people see that, they're so surprised and hurt because he held her down while she was locked up. Wow. I digress. I digress. I digress. I didn't really want to get into all of that because the video was about ageism. But I guarantee you, Claressa was not ready for Remy's response. When she told Claressa, I'm not 45 yet, but you are 29. And I'll just say this, you not aging like wine. Wait a minute, hold up, Remy. That was bars. Remy made it rhyme. I just realized that. I didn't include the rest of it because the rest of what she said is irrelevant. She said, I'm not 45 yet, but you are 29. And I'll just say this, you not aging like wine. Bars. I don't mean to laugh, but she right. She right like Claressa Shields. She doesn't even look her age because there's nothing wrong with looking your age. A lot of us, people are still asking us, like, you have adult children? Well, you don't look your age or you look good for your age. This woman, Claressa Shields, she doesn't even look 29. In my opinion, she looks older. So yeah, Remy ate that one. She ate her up on that. So while she was using Remy's age as some sort of, trump card, she shut her down because she doesn't look 29. She looks older. She is not aging like wine. She does. She looked like she had a hard knock life. And I don't have anything against this woman. I don't know her. But, we're going to be honest. Since she bringing up age, we're going to bring up the truth of the situation too. So these age-based digs and jabs that women weaponized against each other. It might seem harmless, but it's not. It's always coming from a place of internalized misogyny, even if they do not realize that that's where it's coming from. What they're actually doing is reinforcing the very stereotypes, right? That are going to plague them. If since this is the frequency that they're on, since this is what they are subscribing to, is reinforcing negative stereotypes. It's reinforcing red pill ideology, like how these red pill dudes, one of their main talking points that they use to weaponize against women is after a certain age, you hit the wall. I think it's 30 or something. I think it's 30 or 35. After that, you might even be younger than that you hit the wall, right? Women like me who know what time it is, we know what's really going on with these red pill dudes and the women who subscribe to their ideology, the women that call up there, the women that used to call up there to Kevin Samuels. And now, a lot of his sons, his godsons or whatever, they call him the Godfather. A lot of his godsons call themselves carrying on the torch. They're trying to be a little bit slicker because I think a lot of them have been banned on the internet, on social media. So you have some that they are still trying to carry the torch, the Kevin Samuels torch, and any of the others, and any of the others. And one of the reasons why, the main reason why they weaponize age against women, or you hit the wall after a certain age, nobody gonna want you, you're gonna die alone with a cat, is because they are projecting their fears and their insecurities. This is why it's very unfortunate when women subscribe to these ideologies, intentionally or unintentionally. Again, this is where self-awareness comes at. Why are you saying the things that you're saying, Claressa? Why are you bringing up age when you're just having an exchange of words? If she's crashing out, that means you're crashing out too. You are engaging in a back and forth too. It's not like you're 19. You're about to be 30 years old. You about to hit the 30-year-old club, 30 club. So a lot of these red pill dudes, when they use that against women age and weaponize that is a projection of their own insecurity and fears. A lot of them at 30, just from me reading posts, listening to younger women's conversations, listening to women's conversations in general. A lot of these men, a lot of them out here are dealing with erectile dysfunction, right? Those are the main ones telling women that they're hitting the wall. They're going to hit the wall at 30 years old, or after 25 or 30, you're worthless, go get a cat. That is their fear, okay? They are afraid of dying alone. They are afraid of dying alone. They already dealing with erectile dysfunction. Let's keep it 100. A lot of women not putting up with that, especially if they haven't been with you for a while. But a lot of them are dealing with that. And instead of addressing that issue, they project it off onto women. And they know there are women like Claressa, she's just an example I'm using, who are going to carry the torch, right? They're going to weaponize that same ideology against other women. And then they can say, see, women saying it. See, it's crazy. We see through it. We definitely see through it. So it's like people who have fears and insecurities about life and living, who lack that zest for life, they're always worried. They are operating from a lack consciousness, right? It's like they expect older women to just fade in the background once we reach a certain age, men and women. And again, unfortunately, for the women who subscribe to those beliefs, that once you reach a certain age, it's over for you, right? You got to fade into the background. You're worthless. You're valueless. No one wants you. You hit the wall. All of this nonsense. A lot of them try to uphold this impossible standard that people are setting for them, right? That's why you have women my age, 40 and up, who are constantly trying to prove themselves, prove their worth. They have to prove that they still got it. They're always trying to prove how sexy they are. It's not coming from a place like this is just how they feel. It's coming from a place of insecurity. It's so clear. It's sad. It's very sad to see. It's so clear that they have something to prove. It's like they fear their mortality. It's almost like they're not appreciating the aging process. No, ma'am, you do not look this way. You do not look like you're 25. You don't. I'm sorry. You don't look like that. It's like they're trying to prove their worth and their value to men and women. Because again, they are operating from a lack consciousness. They're not operating from an abundant consciousness. And it's clear, you can see it. There's a lot of insecurity. There is a lot of insecurity, feelings of low self-worth. And it's clear to see women my age, I see it, constantly trying to prove their worth because they have allowed people to weaponize age against them, to practice ageism. And they're low key listening to these red pill dudes and their ideologies. Again, I spoke about this in the last video. This is why they're always sharing what men say, over there on TikTok, over here on YouTube, Facebook. They're always showing screenshots. They're showing what men say as hey, see, this is what they say. We got to fight against. Like, I don't even think about them dudes. They are definitely not on my radar. I don't care what they say. I don't even care to dissect their thoughts. I don't even care to show what they're saying as some sort of teaching moment. They're not talking about anything. Again, these are dudes that are not getting any action in real life. And it's easy for women to get men. All we have to do is go outside. And there's always going to be a man ready to marry us, ready to put babies in us, all of the above. It's not hard for women to get men. It's not hard. It's not even always about looks, right? It's not. Men will say that they have these women who are trying to prove how they look and they still got it and they're trying to appear younger and all of that. That's because they're listening to what these do. They care about what they say. And 9 times out of 10, these are the women who aren't married, who secretly do want to be married. This is why they're constantly proving themselves. And they feel like they're running out of time, right? Because of their age. It's a sad sight to see, but that's what's going on. Now, on the flip side of that, right, you have young women who have been on the receiving end of ageism, right? When they share their views and experiences on relationships, careers, mental health, whatever. There's some older woman somewhere, right, who has to insert themselves. Well, you haven't lived long enough to have an opinion. They may not say it verbatim, but that's the gist of what they're saying. Remember when I saw it here on YouTube, actually. Remember when Gen Z, when they started calling out the toxic workplace culture, and they had made some incredibly substantial points, right? Instead of acknowledging some valid points that they have, a lot of older women, they just brushed them off and was calling them, lazy and entitled, you know? They didn't even really just take the time to consider what they were saying. I know why they just brushed them off, because the older women that did not acknowledge some of the valid points that they made, they just charged them to being lazy and entitled. That's because they have settled in a position at a job where they are miserable, but they feel stuck, right? They basically decided that that's where they're going to retire from. And every day they go into this job that they cannot stand. Boss is getting on their nerves. The entire workplace is toxic. They don't really make enough money. They're just making ends meet, right? They're living paycheck to paycheck. If they miss a couple of paychecks, they may have their vehicle repo. They may get evicted or face foreclosure or something along those lines. This is what a lot of people are dealing with. This is the reality, right? That's why I said you have to be careful what you're internalizing on social media, because a lot of what people show is an idealized, curated, filtered version of reality. So, it's the best thing is just to mind your business, do what you need to do for you and yours, right? But instead of the older women acknowledging that they did have some valid points, they just brushed them off. So they weaponized ageism against those younger women. So it can go both ways, It's like, why do we assume, not we, because I don't. I can learn from women of all ages. Why do some older women assume that being young means that you're clueless? Oh, you can't tell me nothing. You can't teach me anything because you haven't walked in my shoes. That's very ignorant. I'm a lifetime student. I can learn literally from everybody. I can learn from people I don't like. Everybody can teach me something. I can literally learn from everybody. That's very ignorant to hold that mentality that just because a woman is younger than you, because she hasn't walked in your shoes or experienced life in the same way that you have, that you can't learn from her. Those are the same women who are constantly trying to prove their worth to men and other women. They're trying to prove, oh, I still got it. I'm still desirable. Look at me. I'm worthy. It's very sad. It's very sad to see. It is and they're toxic to everyone that encounters them. People who are onto, what they're displaying. The people who are smart enough to see through their behavior, they know exactly what's going on. Thank you all again for tuning in to Tiffany Masika. Don't forget to hit that like button. Peace.